Welcome to Tea Party Media Digital Town Hall. I am Martin Lindeskog. This is a live streaming session, and that will also be turned into a recording that I will publish here on this digital town hall. So you could watch a replay, and probably put it on other services also, like YouTube, maybe Rumble, and whatnot. Another service that I can't remember the name of right now. So I will keep this pretty short and sweet. I have thing in an hour in Twitter Spaces or Twitter X or X Spaces right now it's called, and then a Twitter chat, and then also live streaming here on Heartland on Social Cafe with Deborah Anderson. So, talking about weekly planning here, it's now soon Mittwoch or Wednesday or middle of the week. Maybe it's Thursday, depending on how you count. So I wrote a post in Swedish on LinkedIn, so I will read it here and translate it. How do you do your weekly planning during the summer? And this title is Weekly Planning During Indian Summer. I enjoyed the Indian summer. Often it was around late August, beginning of September, I think, with the leaves in nice colors and so on in New Hampshire and also in Ohio. So how do you do if you have a summer break or vacation or something like that? How do you plan during the summer? And I said also I will concentrate on the following areas during the summer, and that's the freedom of expression regarding the category of new media that I have on my blog, New Media Business Philosophy and Good Life, 3 categories, and there also for Tea Party Media, teaparty.media. So freedom of expression, that will come back in different ways. And then value for value model, business philosophy, and applied to podcasting, but it could also be applied to the music industry here. I will give you some interesting examples in the near future. And then purchasing power with membership club, and that's Good Life, and I am a affiliate member of a company called Live Good, and I will talk more about that in the near future also. So this is the 3 areas. And then I did a tag or at the person, a contact, business contact, Love Jansson, and I said that I look forward to talk further with him regarding conversation and digital threads on, for example, LinkedIn, how you could start and continue conversation and what that could lead to. And also that you're adding the expression that I like, adding your 2 cents to the conversation. So, and then I said to do a live event late Tuesday evening, and this is now soon Wednesday. Soon it's midnight. And then on Wednesday, in an hour at 1 a.m., I will have this Twitter X Spaces with Deborah. And we'll talk about defining podcasting and some pre-game talking about that. And then we'll do the Twitter or posting, as I call it now, or at hashtag Social Cafe. And then Twitter chat at 2, as I said, and then a live streaming session on Heartland on Social Cafe at 2:30 a.m. Central European Time, Wednesday. The topic is defining your podcast. I will take a sip of tea here, black tea, Lapsang Souchong. It's a smoky black tea. Cheers. So I did also a photo with pencil, Caran d'Ache. And 2 note cards. So here's the weekly plan, and I will read through it a bit quickly and then take it step by step with other occasions. So this I did for week 30 and now it's week 31. So Insta on Monday, I do an open thread post on Instagram, and then I have this digital town hall, write something on my digital town hall or here on Tea Party Media on Heartland, powered by Heartland. And on Tuesday is the blog post. And then I have this Heartland also, that is this community build. They have a live event on Tuesday at 10. And then sometime during late, as I'm doing now, live event. I will do that also on my website in the future using a service called Easy Live. And on Wednesday then, it's this Twitter chat starting at 2, and before that it's this Twitter Spaces and then the live streaming. So it's this note card is starting at 7, that's often office hours starting in the morning, but this is even earlier, so it's hard to write down, but I have a note so I remember it. And then it's writing something on the digital town hall content, and then at the end in the evening it's a project called Start with the V, that I will talk more about how we'll change the social media networks and how you get paid and how you could support content creators in a new way. And it's very exciting. I will tell you more about that later on in August here, end of August. I will attend a kickoff there in end of August. And then on Thursday, it's Facebook, write something on Facebook. I said on Wednesday, it's LinkedIn to write the post there. And Facebook Thursday, like Throwback Thursday. And then we have a reprise or replay or rerun of a Twitter chat that we had on Tuesday, American time, or Wednesday, my time, early in the morning or midnight, with Social Cafe reprise. And then also in the evening, when it's this meeting with the team and opportunity live good at 9 p.m. Central European time, and then also doing a live streaming on Ego Netcast with because it's Thursday, Force Hammer. This is by Marvel, the Force Hammer, Thor's Hammer. And then on Friday it's Twitter, now it's called X. So do a tweet there and follow Friday. And then it's also Heartland at 10. It's gathering that again at 10, and then doing a post on the digital town hall. And on Saturday, on weekend, Saturday siesta, doing also live streaming about mainly about the good life. And on Sunday, it's to think about, and also doing podcast, recording podcast or publish a podcast or editing podcast or marketing podcast, etc. And on Sunday, doing a newsletter and also weekly review, thinking about the next week. Often I try to do that maybe early on Saturday, the weekly review in the future. And then also the newsletter. And if I do 3 pieces of content on Heartland Digital Town Hall, it will auto-generate a newsletter. It's going out to the members. So that's a pretty neat thing that you could do. So I will see the clock here. It's about 5 minutes. So I will talk at minimum or at least or maximum 10 minutes more. So the other note card that I had here, that I wrote down the following to remember. Number 1, new media, and that's this the project with the social media. And number 2, the business philosophy, and that's this value for value applying to podcasting. And number 3, is the good life with Live Good. And then continue with this Tea Party Media today on, but it was past now Tuesday to write a blog post, and I'm working on setting up everything. It's the minimal viable product now, but I had to do some settings recently. I got help with this comment spam, and paid for service there. And now I'm looking at the version for a mobile, for a smartphone, with some aspect of this, how do you say, the hamburger menu, and to be able to scroll and find a section on the site. And then, of course, podcasting is a big part. And my free words for this year, and probably it will be for next year also, is coin, like a silver coin, but also coinage, to come up with new concepts, ideas, words. And then the second one is trade with each other voluntarily with ideas and matters, and also trading in the future. And the third is to celebrate victory and victories during the year. So that's my 3 words for 2023. And I have done with emojis also: the coin, the trade with 2 hands shaking each other like a deal, and victory, the victory sign. And also trade is the arrows going back and forth in a 2-way street. And then the daily lift, that's now will be LIFX. It's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I done now on the week here. So on Monday it's Instagram, and LinkedIn is on Wednesday, and Thursday is Facebook, throwback, and Twitter on Friday. And that's the framework. And if something in the future happen with X, it could be another service, but I will keep and stay on Twitter and X as long as I can, because I see the potential there, and I have some thoughts about what Elon Musk is doing, and I will really follow that. So it's interesting, and see what is coming up with in the future. And the weekly is BNP. It's a play with words. Excuse me, I'll take another sip of tea here. Cheers. Weekly, and that's a blog, newsletter, and a podcast. And blogging is to do on Tuesdays, then often on Tea Party Media, but also on Ego Netcast I could do it, and others microblogs. And then newsletter, I was thinking once a week, but probably it will be every 2 weeks, or maybe even every month, as a theme, like catching up what has gone happening during the month or what's ahead. And then this Heartland thing with free content posts, generating newsletter, and that's good to do that. So because often the podcasts are every 2 weeks, but I have several podcasts, so it will be every week. And blogging is good to have every 2 weeks also. So weekly could be bi-weekly or on a fortnightly basis. And then, of course, this digital town hall content on a weekly basis, and live also several times a week, like 3 times a week. And then on monthly, having like some summary or review, like the newsletter. And then it could be quarterly, and then half year. And then also to add this Ikigai, to read more on that, and listen on audiobooks and so on. Think about this Ikigai, this concept, and the lifesavers, this morning routine, to be silent, to do affirmation, to visualize things, exercise, reading, and scribble, or writing down things, note, like journaling. So that's what I had on my mind now for weekly planning. So I'm interested to hear how you are planning your week and your content creation and so on. So it's getting where the pieces of a puzzle is getting in place, I think, and it's again to do it and then get inspiration. Talk with me like a new media advisor, the opportunities and possibilities and what you could think about, and then continue. So again, it's great to have this starting this Indian summer or beginning of August and planning ahead for the fall forward. And yeah, so thanks for watching, listening, and so on. We'll see if somebody is joining, and then we'll talk to you soon again. And now I will prepare for this Twitter Spaces in a bit with Deborah here. So we'll do a few more minutes here, and I will take another sip of tea. Cheers. So interesting to hear if you have any tools that you are using for your planning, for a schedule or a content creation schedule, and like this, that I have this framework of with different social media satellites, you could say, and then also the toolbox of what you could control your blog, your newsletter, and your podcast, and then of course live streaming on a good platform, and also having an online community, or as I call it, a digital town hall, to think about that. Again, I'm thinking lots of that, and Brian Solis, he wrote a book there called Life Scaling, to have this so-called life balance, work-life balance. It's more like a scale, you could say, and that's why I'm thinking of this ikigai, this Japanese thinking for the future. So that's why I have these 3 words, and also to this focus now during August and fall and the rest of the year about freedom of expression, this value for value model, and then this also here to remember purchasing power with this membership club that I'm really into, and see as a former purchaser, I see the opportunities and possibilities and how this club, this company will stir up a pot and a bit in this industry. So about direct selling, and it's very fascinating and it's interesting what you could do in this area. And I will come back to that mainly on Saturday's yes, then a weekend we're talking about the good life and how a membership could give you that with this, again, purchasing power to get great product to cost price and really competitive, and see an opportunity with that also. So more of that in the near future, and talk to you soon again. And I say cheerio. Bye for now. See you around.